Welcome back to Masculine Scrapping. I know it's been a while since I put a project out. In the summer I tend to spend a little more time in the garden, but I am doing some work on catching up now. Today I'm going to work on a spread for the Texas Ranger Museum, which is in Waco, Texas. I know it's starting to sound like I work on their Chamber of Commerce or Tourism Board, but I don't. There's just a lot of things to do here. And if you ever come to visit, you will not be bored. But the Texas Ranger Museum is pretty cool, and right near Baylor University. And so I've created this particular spread for that. I actually want to start by doing some torn edge borders that I'm going to put on this paper. This project is kind of fun in some ways, in that almost all of the paper I'm using has come from my aunt's collection. My aunt died about 2 years ago and a little bit, and I was fortunate enough to collect a good portion of her craft supplies, mostly the things dealing with paper. She had all kinds of other equipment. I just already had it and didn't really feel like I needed duplicates, so I grabbed paper and adhesive supplies and other things, but almost all of this paper comes out of her collection, which is pretty cool. So I've just cut that in half, and I'm gonna use that behind these pieces here just to give a little bit more dimension. And I just realized right now I just left a bunch of stuff there. There we go. Okay. So let's start with this side. No pictures on this side. It's really just a graphics to add to the design. I try not to make every page have 4 photos on in a pinwheel style, and so sometimes I'm just picking the photos that I feel like I want to put on the page and then work the design around it. In this case, I'm still going to get 4. You're going to see I'm going to use a flippy on that side, but I decided to go with a big design on this side. Of course, all designed in Cricut Design Space, and then cut out using my Cricut Maker. I was able to download this Texas Ranger image from the internet and then get it into the design work. At some point, I might show you how I do design work in Cricut Design Space. There are some cool tools or tricks you can use to help make some things happen. But I also know there are a ton of other people who are doing that. And really what I like to do is show how the memories of events can be kept so you have them for the future, and that's really my style. But I know a lot of people ask me about, how did you make that happen? For example, this was a little complicated to get all in place the way I wanted it to cut out, so a lot of reverse image engineering, cutting and slicing to finally get it to cut the way that I wanted to. But in the long run, it was easier to cut that white piece than to cut tiny little red letters. So we'll get this in there, nice and easy. This is actually a walking stick medallion that I got at the gift store there. They didn't really have any good options for stickers, and so I decided to get one of these instead. Now I'm using kind of sticky glue dots here because the metal is a little thick, and so I want to make sure that I really get that on there well. I'm having a little trouble getting them to stick. There we go, got another one. So there we go. Flattened that out just using my hand, just pushed it down as much as I could. And I really like the way that has turned out. We'll throw this up here and pull down the other page now. Again, all designed in Cricut Design Space. I'm also not a paid endorser for them, but man, this tool really has changed for me the ease of doing scrapbooking. Not having to punch out single letters all the time, and The pictures here are all of outside the museum, and partially I did that because they were the coolest pictures. Also, inside the museum, the pictures that were inside just didn't turn out that great. It's a museum that has a lot of things to look at. Not as interactive as other museums, but a lot of kind of cool things to look at. Now these are pocket windows for photos. They are an old style. Again, this came from my aunt's collection. And so it's got this weird piece of tape here, but I'm going to use them because I have them. And these are historical markers from around the space. So it's actually, there's one for Waco. There's one for the First Street Cemetery that's right near this place. And then the Texas Ranger one. So you can see, I'm just going to pull this off real carefully. I always put the photos in it when I do this because it helps to add some strength. And then I'm going to fold it back. And then I'm going to try and get it in here real nice and tight. There we go. Flip that up. And really get that down tightly. And then my third one's going to go right in here. And just need to make sure I get it in the right spot. I think I'm going to need to put it right up against that. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Okay. So we'll get it right in there so it's hidden by the other ones. And then when you open it up, you'll get to see it. There we go. See how cool that looks? So you can kind of tell something's going on, and then an easy flip and you get to see all of them. I like taking pictures of historical markers. I know sometimes they're really hard to read on the video in my pictures, but when you're looking at it in place, you can really read all of that. And in some ways, it keeps me from having to do journaling. I know you guys know this about me, but I do not do a lot of journaling. I try and let these things speak for themselves. My mother, my aunt, and my sister, their style all includes lots of journaling. I think part of my aversion to it is I think I have terrible handwriting. Used glue on those little pieces there just to help keep that down. There we go. Put it right there. Let's see, is that even? Looks even. Save those for later. So there we go, the Texas Ranger Museum in Waco, Texas. Really encourage you to come and take a visit sometime. It's a great place to spend some time. Take care, and I hope to see your project soon.